So we're going to start with page 25 in your grammar books. So go ahead and turn to that, and then you need a pencil as well. Let's get this out of the way. All right, give me a thumbs up if you're there. I see that. Good job. Christian, you keep freezing, but hopefully your internet will survive the class.
Same for you.
Can you still hear me though, even if you're frozen?
Yes.
Okay,
Sometimes
good. So
I
I'll just keep talking.
Sometimes
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, Alexis, did you have a question?
Can we use pen?
Yes, you can use pen on this. I prefer pencil just in case you need to fix something in this, because this is different than the writing part. But if you like pen better, I'm okay with that.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
you're welcome. And then Alex.
I have to go to the bathroom.
That's okay. Go ahead and come right back, okay? All right, so we're going to look at the who, which clause today. And that is a group of words that describes the noun it follows. And the nice thing about who, which clause is that it usually, well, it always starts with who or which. So that's easy to identify when you look for those words. So a who, which clause begins with the word who or which, a type of pronoun. Who refers to the people or personified animals. That just means like if you're writing about an animal like a pretend story and the animal has a character or a personality to it, personified animals. And pets. So when you're talking about your own pets, you can use who in that sentence. So which refers to things, animals, and places. So go ahead and mute Alex. On yours.
What?
Make sure you're muted during this part, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. So which refers to things, animals, and places. And you'll notice that animals is in both. But when you're talking about your pet or a personified animal, that's when it's who. But if you're talking about just a generic animal out there or just any old animal, you would use which. So a who which clause must be added to a sentence that is already complete. So here we have some examples. The soldiers had traveled far. So that's the original sentence. There's no who which clause in there. Here we have, it's giving us an example of a fragment. If I changed it to say the soldiers who had traveled far, well, there's my who which clause, but it's still, it doesn't make sense, right? It's not complete. It's a fragment. It's missing the other half. So here's the example as a full sentence. The soldiers who had traveled far needed food. So it's the who which clause is in the middle here between these two commas. But you can take that out and it's still a sentence. The soldiers needed food. See how the who which is just adding to the sentence. The soldiers who had traveled far needed food. It tells a little bit more about what's happening to the soldiers. Here we have the soldiers who needed food had traveled far. That's just another way to put it. You can switch those two parts of the sentence. So you still have your who which clause right here, who needed food. But if I took that out, the soldiers had traveled far, that still makes sense. Okay? And here we're going to practice mark it, place parentheses around who which clause, and write W/W. Obviously the W's stand for who and which. That's how you're going to label that in your homework for your grammar. Above the word who or which. So here's the example of how to mark it. The soldiers who had traveled far needed food. And then you put parentheses around the who which clause and put W/W right here. And then, like I said earlier, there's always commas around the who which clause. Okay, so go ahead and turn to page 27. Now we're going to practice that, along with some other things that we already know about grammar that we've practiced before. Okay. And we always start by reading the sentence. Read it. So who would like to read our sentence today? I see Alexis. Did you have your hand up for a second? Would you like to read it?
I would.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The dwarf who bowed and walked away returned for a turn time later
This is actually third.
that night.
This is actually third time later that night. Okay, good. And I had an issue with my light right here, so I had to fix that a little bit. But, and you said bowed, right? Who bowed? Okay, good. Because sometimes that word could be bowed, but in this sentence it's bowed. Okay, and that was correct. And that is our vocabulary word for the day. What does bowed mean? Does anybody know what bowed means? Christian?
So it means like you do this or something?
Yes, that's exactly right. Everybody take a bow and say, thank you so much. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for listening to me. You can take a bow. So that's exactly right. You put your head down, bend the body at the waist usually. And have you ever seen a play on stage or any kind of performance on stage before? You guys seen that? No? Some of you have? Alex, yeah. When it's usually like a play or something like that, they will take a bow at the very end. They'll bring out all the actors and actresses, and then everybody takes a bow together. All right, so we know what that means. Let's put a little check mark by the word vocabulary, and we already did read that. Whoops, okay. So now we're moving over here to market. Let me ask Wyatt, what are the 3 articles that we write up here next to articles?
The, a, are.
Actually, an.
And.
The, a, and usually I put it in a different order. I usually do a, and, the, but it's okay. However you want to write that, as long as you remember the and a and an, those are the articles. I like to have you write it up here to help you remember. So I want you to do that on your homework too, so you can have a little note there to remind you what the articles are. So there's 2 of them. Delilah, what are the 2 articles that you see in this sentence?
It is the and a. I already got it written down.
Good, awesome. Yes, the and a. Good job, Delilah. Those are 2.
My work done.
Good job. I'm glad you're thinking ahead and you already got that going. That's great. And how about Cassie? Can you find 3 nouns? We're looking for nouns next.
I've only found 1.
Okay, which one did you find?
Dwarf.
Okay, good. That's a noun. Anybody want to help Cassie? These are a little trickier. Alex, which one do you think?
Walked away. No, walk.
No. That's a verb.
Wow. No, that's an action.
Anybody else have any ideas? What is another noun that you see in here? Wyatt, do you see one?
Returned.
No, that's actually a verb. Serena, did you see one? I saw your hand for a second.
I think it's night.
Good. Night is one. Good job. And then the other one is a little tricky. It's actually, it's time.
Time.
Time. That is a thing.
Yeah, I got that one.
Because if you look before that, it's describing it.
You can count time. I know that.
Yeah, that's right. And that's one way you can identify a noun is if you can count it. Good job, you can count time. But that it's also describing what kind of time right before it. So for a third time, it's not talking about a clock time, but it's talking about how many times. Good job, whoever said that, because the dog might catch the ball 3 times in a row, right? 3 times is not 3 o'clock on the clock, it's how many times it happened. So good, that's the third noun. Now we can put a little check mark. I forgot to put one up here by articles, but let's put one there and by the nouns. And then we have a who, which clause. And that one is pretty easy to identify because it starts with a who or a which. So Wyatt, what is the who, which clause in this sentence?
Who bowed and walked away.
Good. So we're going to put a parentheses around that. Perfect, Wyatt. Good job. And then we're going to label it with a W/W. That stands for who, which. And remember, that adds to the sentence. The sentence can stand alone without it, but having that who, which clause really makes the sentence even more descriptive. It really gives you an image of what's happening in the sentence. All right. And then Serena, what word needs to be capital here?
The.
Good. So we're going to do our 3 little lines. And then Alexis, what about our end mark?
It's a period.
Perfect. All right, we did it. Go ahead and take a minute and rewrite this in nice handwriting at the bottom, making sure you have your fix-its on there.
Well, when we got to this page, I did everything and then started rewriting.
So okay. Good. So just relax for a second. We'll let everybody else catch up. Don't forget your commas.
And I'm sort of trying to become an left-hand right-handed. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh, ambidextrous.
I'm starting to write with my left hand a lot. So
okay. Well, I think, Christian, let's stick with your main hand for the writing class. You can practice that on your own time, writing with your left hand. But for my class and for this work here and on your other writing, I want you to use whatever you normally use, maybe your right hand. Okay, but you can practice on the side. Does that make sense, Christian?
Maybe I actually did with my left hand without knowing. I don't know.
Do you normally write with your right hand?
I do, but I'm thinking of maybe starting to write with my, yeah, this is right hand. It's better handwriting.
Yeah, so stick with your right hand for my class, but then when you're just doing extra writing for fun or whatever, you can practice your left hand. Okay, Christian?
Okay.
All right. All right, good. We're done with that. So next, I want you to go ahead and get out your, I know you already have it, the bald man and the fly story. And you also need that yellow page from your binder that I talked about earlier. But let's start with the bald man and the fly. I got to hear most of your titles, and I love that you had your titles match the words from your last sentence. So you did great on that. And I'm so happy that you now know that, because anytime you do your writing from now on and you wait till the end to make your title, you can know what to do, because that's what you do when you make a title. So good job with that. All right, I just want to hear a couple, just 2 for right now. Maybe if at the end we have more time, I want to hear more, but I would love to hear your whole story, your whole rewrite that you did for The Bald Man and the Fly. If you would like to read your version of that story, go ahead and raise your hand. I see a few hands, so I'm only going to pick 2 right now. So don't worry if I don't pick you. Maybe at the end, if we have time, we'll squeeze a couple more in. So Alexis, I'm going to have you go first. Go ahead and unmute and read us your version of The Bald Man and the Fly. You can tell us the title first and then read your story.
Okay. Anger only hurts you. On a hot summer day, a tired person sat down to rest and took off his hat. A fly began to buzz around him. "Get away, fly," he mumbled. But the fly wouldn't stop. It began to land on his skin again and again. He fell what's this word?
Are you stuck on a word?
He was frustrated and angry. He felt.
Oh.
That should be a T.
Okay, good. See,
he felt frustrated and angry. Then the man understood his mistake. We only hurt ourselves when we get so angry.
Nice. Good job. Everybody give her a hand jive like that. Jazzy hands, I guess they're called. You can do jazzy hands in the screen. Good job. I like that. You did excellent. You got all the main points in there from your keyword outline. And then I heard the words in your last sentence from your title. Awesome. Okay, and Alex, I'm going to have you go next. And then later, if we have more time, I'll pick. I know I saw some other hands there, but we'll come back to you guys.
Okay. Read the title and the story.
Yeah, start with the title and then read the whole story.
When we get angry. A tired traveler sat down to rest on a hot day and he took off his hat. A fly was buzzing on his head and sweaty face, landing on his skin here and there. "Stop it, you fly," he said. He tried to smack the fly, but missed and hit his own head. After he slapped the skin, it stung, but he kept trying to get the fly. He failed and got frustrated and angry. The man understood his mistake after all. Likely he thought we only hurt ourselves when we get angry.
Nice. Jazz hands for Alex. Woo, good job. All right, Cassie, don't mess with your screen, please. That's a little distracting, okay? So just leave it plain and leave your name plain too. Don't mess with that during class, okay? All right, good job, you guys. Now let's look at page 27 in your binder. It looks like this. I'm going to share my screen. But you guys did awesome. I love, I want to hear everybody's, so I'll try to make time at the end so we can hear everybody's. I'm trying a new light today, and I'm just not sure about this because it's making this glare. Anyway, okay. I think that might work okay. All right, so you can see on this page a lot of different things here. This is called stylistic techniques. That's what it's called at the top here. And the first section, number 1, or Roman numeral 1, says dress ups. And then we've got sentence openers. And then we've got decorations. So we're going to be using this page a lot. For the next several weeks, we're going to slowly fill in this page together and learn what kinds of things we can add to our writing to make it even better. You guys already have a great start on your writing. It's already sounding really good from your rewrite from the original story, and now we're going to start dressing it up a little bit more. So we're going to talk first about dress ups. Now, Do you know what dress up means? Like, what does it mean to dress up? What would you think of if you think of the term dress up? What do you think, Christian?
So usually I would think of Halloween or maybe. So dress up means like you're putting things on, like clothes.
Okay, good. So I like your analogy of Halloween. That's the time you dress up. What's another time you dress up? Serena?
Maybe for like a birthday party or something.
Good. I like that. Yeah, maybe for a birthday party. Because, like, unless it's a pajama party, if it's a pajama party, that's different. You would probably want to
I
wear
had a costume
pajamas.
party.
But if you have a birthday party and let's say you're at a restaurant and it's a nice restaurant, you want to dress up for that. Or if you're going to a friend's house and let's say they're having a tea party, you would want to dress up for that. So what is something you would wear? I know that's more for a girl, but let's say the guys have somewhere nice to go. They maybe they're going to a wedding. How about that? What is something that one of the boys would wear to a wedding? What would you
A black suit with a white tie.
A black suit with a white tie. Okay, that's true. That's dressy, right? That's dressing up. Delilah, do you have an idea?
When you said like a wedding, my uncle just went to wedding the other weekend ago.
Did you go to the wedding too?
No, I never been to a wedding in my life.
Oh, okay.
It was one of his friend's wedding. He came up and super far with my parents just fell.
Oh, okay. What did your cousin, was it your cousin you said or your uncle?
That's from my dad's side. That my uncle that came, but the uncle here that was a lot long ago. I see my uncles. It's the same weekend. But last weekend.
Oh, sorry. My phone. Sorry, go ahead.
Repeller, that's
Oh, you're having camera issues? It's okay.
You better say.
What did your uncle wear to the wedding? Do you remember? Or did you slacks?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that's something you would wear if you dress up. Okay. And what if like for me right now, I'm not wearing my pajamas. I actually am wearing like a little blazer. I did my hair, I put some makeup on. So I dressed up because I'm working now. This is my job to teach you guys how to do writing. And so dressing up is something that you can add to your story to kind of spruce it up a little bit. That's another term. It's just basically making it a little bit fancier, making it sound a little bit better. So we're going to talk about different styles of writing. We talked about styles of how we dress. That's one way we can change our style by dressing up, or if it's a swim party, we would wear our bathing suits, right? Or if it's a beach party, totally different places and ways that you would dress. So what's another thing in life that is a style? Because usually a style is something you can change, right? So what's a style that you know of, Alexis? What do you think?
When my brother used to do BMX, which is bikes, he raced bikes. There was like different types of styles. Like there was jumping styles, there was racing styles, there was competitions and stuff like that.
Good. Different styles of racing. I love it. That's a great example. Christian, did you have an idea?
I'll show you one right now. Hairstyles.
Hairstyles. Yes. You froze again for a second, but yes. So you can change your hairstyles, right? Like Alex's hair is really short. He's got short hair. But what about Cassie?
I had it used to be like this, but then we cut it super short.
That's nice. It looks nice. And Cassie's hair is really long. My hair is long. I know Serena has medium length hair. You probably recently got a haircut, huh? I remember your hair being longer. It's cute. So hairstyles, I see Delilah's hair, and hers is wavy today because she had a braid in her hair. So hairstyles can change. That's right. You know that there's different styles of cars, right? We see trucks, we see Jeeps, or maybe a convertible. So cars have different styles too. There's lots of things in life that have different styles. So
Because
we're gonna,
some cars are nice and smooth, so the wind, like racing cars, so the wind hits it
yes,
and goes over it faster, so I can go faster.
yes, that's good. You know a little bit about racing. That's pretty cool.
And the
So,
Bugatti Chiron is the fastest car, 300 miles per hour.
wow, that's crazy. So, did you know that writing has different styles too? Have you ever written a note to a friend before? You guys ever done that? Write your friend a little note? Serena has, Christian has, Alexis, good. And sometimes it's fun to maybe use markers and you use different colors when you write to your friend. Or have you ever done a note like in a design, like a little spiral note or something like that? Have you guys ever tried doing that before to a friend? So it's kind of fun to make it interesting, and you could even fold the paper interesting and make it kind of fun for your friend to unwrap and find out what the message is. Or if you write even in like a secret code. Have you guys ever done that before for a friend?
I'll
Something like
try.
that. Serena has. Those are kind of fun. Um, Alex, I see your hand, but we're gonna keep going, okay? Because I want to make sure to have enough time at the end to do some extra stuff too. All right, but then what if you wanted to write a note or a letter? Let's say it's a letter to somebody important. Like who's somebody really important that you would write to? Serena,
Um,
who's somebody?
Probably my grandma.
Your grandma, of course. And that would be really special to write a letter to your grandma. And she is a very important person. That's right. How about Christian? Who's somebody else important that you might write a letter to?
There are a few, like any family members that live far away,
Okay.
my friends like Liam, Hamid,
Okay.
like that so I might send them a little.
Alex, how about you?
My friends, I have one that moved to the Philippines, one that moved to Texas, one that moved to South Carolina.
Yeah, okay, good.
Because I don't know, like I haven't met any of my family that live far away. And no,
Yeah. How about somebody important like the President of the United States?
I wrote to
How's
him
that?
and he wrote back.
Really?
Yeah, I also wrote to the Rainforest Trust and they wrote back.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So when you wrote those letters, you probably used a little bit different language than you would to your friend, right? You might have
Yeah.
actually dressed it up a little bit and made sure that it sounded really good and checked all your capitals and all your periods and all that. So basically what I'm wanting you to understand is that there's different styles of writing. And so we're going to learn those different styles as we go. I see your hand, Alex, but hold on a second, okay? All right. What if, like, for instance, has your mom or your grandma ever been on the phone and you have this burning question like, can I have Fruit Loops for breakfast? Or can I go outside and play? Those are like really big questions that you want to ask your grandma or your mom, but she's on the phone and you don't want to interrupt her. So you could write a little note, right? And you can say, Grandma, can I have Fruit Loops? And then you put yes and no, and then you hand her the pencil, and then she can circle yes or no, and then you're not disturbing the conversation, but you're getting your question answered, right? That's another thing you can do
I
with
wrote a note
notes.
to my mom. I just like put one word of what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're going to go to this page now, and we're only going to talk about the first one. So right next to number 1, I'm going to have you write a little dash and ly like that. Oops, my light. Okay. a little dash ly, and then the word adverb. Ly adverb. That is the first style of dress ups that we're going to talk about is ly adverb. That's all we're going to talk about today, but I want you to keep this in your binder because we're going to come back to this a lot and we're going to add to our list. Today we're just starting with one, ly adverb. So you can actually set that aside and now get out a clean piece of paper. And before we get started on our notes, let's talk about what an ly adverb is. Basically, it is a word that ends with ly. And it's describing, it is adding to a verb. So an ly adverb, and when you look at that word adverb, it's adverb. That's an easy way to help you remember that it's adding to the verb. For instance, if I wanted to add to the verb eat, right? Because that's a verb. If I want to add to that verb and make an ly adverb, I could say, I eat somethingly. Okay, like I eat quickly. I eat slowly. I eat. Anybody else have a ly adverb that you can put there? Serena, what do you think?
Can you think of one?
Slowly. I eat slowly.
I eat slowly. Christian, good.
I eat a fly. Ly.
Okay, well, very clever, Christian. And you're right, that word does have an ly, but it's not an adverb, okay? That word is a noun, right? A fly is a thing. So you're trying to think of a way that you can describe a verb or add to a verb. So what else could you use instead of fly, Christian? I eat somethingly.
I eat just gotta say,
How about like sloppily?
yeah,
Like let's say you eat and you get crumbs all over your shirt.
slurply.
Or slurpily. Okay, good. Or I eat neatly. Or I eat carefully. Alex, do you have another one?
The idea that you just popped out is that what I was gonna say.
Neatly? Which one?
Sloppily.
Sloppily. Okay. But what if I say I eat broccoli? Well, it makes sense, right? I eat broccoli and it ends with a li sound, but it's li, and that's a noun. That's not going to describe a verb, right? So we can't use that one. There's certain words in English language that have ly that are not adverbs, like butterfly or ugly. Those words have ly at the end, but we're looking for words that will add to a verb. It gives a little more description about the verb. Let's try I play. I play somethingly. I play, what do you think? What could you put there somethingly? I play happily. I play, what do you think, Serena?
I play
quickly. I play. You're still thinking?
Yeah. Wait, yeah,
That's
quickly
okay.
is a good one. Quickly is a good
Quickly? Okay. Christian, how about you? You play what? I play
Fearfully.
fearfully. Okay. So what about something you do? Like I do it, if you're talking about something that you do all the time. Let's say you do something the same all the time every day. I do it repeatedly. Or I do it, what else, Alex?
Something like
Roughly.
Roughly. Okay, good. Or I do it occasionally is a different way to say it. Okay, so you get the idea. Okay, when you're talking about an action, and you want to add to that action, you're going to use an ly word. So on your paper, I want you to do what we always do and put your first and last name on the upper left-hand side like that. And then you're going to put the date. Oops. Oh my goodness, I'm still stuck in September. That's not good. I need to move on. We are moving on to October. Okay, October, what is today's date? Oh my goodness. October 4th, 2022. And then at the very top, I'm going to have you put ly adverbs. And these are notes. These are notes that you're going to use for your homework. So you don't want to lose these, okay? Make sure you have this paper handy in your binder when we're done with it for today. All right, so we are going to think about that story that you wrote called The Bald Man and the Fly, right? And then I want you to think about that first part of the story, how he sits down to rest. Remember the very first part of the story? He's traveling, he's tired, and he sits down to rest. So think of a couple ly adverbs that you could use right there. He somethingly sat down to rest. What's an example of an ly word that would fit right there? He somethingly sat down to rest. Serena, do you have an idea?
Lazily.
Lazily. Good, I like it. Lazily. Go ahead and write that word down. We're going to make a list here. So lazily, Alexis.
Tiredly.
Tiredly. Good, I like it. Tiredly.
Question.
Oh, she took yours? That's all right. We're thinking alike. That's good. Anybody else have any ideas of how he sat down, somethingly sat down? What about suddenly? Go ahead and write these down. And I'm not skipping lines, it's okay. Oh, let's see my light. Let's see if I can turn it. Nope, it does not want to go away. What about that, maybe? I got this cool light from Amazon and I was all excited to use it and then I didn't think about the glare. Okay, how about happily? What if he was like happy to sit down, right? Happily.
Now you got my idea.
Oh, I stole it. Sorry, I was reading your mind. Anybody have any other ideas on how he sat down, somethingly sat down? I see Serena's hand again. You got another one?
Quickly.
Quickly. And then I saw Wyatt's hand. What about you, Wyatt? Do you have one more?
Thirsty.
Thirsty? Okay, thirsty.
Like maybe he was thirsty and he sat down to take a drink.
Okay, so it needs to have ly. How could you change that to an ly word? Because you thirsty just has a y, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how you would change that to an ly word?
I'll just add a ly.
So what would the new word be?
Thirstier.
That's an that's an R sound. How about thirstily? Thirstily. I'm not sure that's a word, but hey, it could be, right?
It's not a word.
Is not a word? You don't think so? We should try
Yeah, that's
asking
a word.
Siri later. Thirstily.
Thirstily is a word.
It is?
Yeah.
Let's ask Siri. Hey Siri. Is thirstily a word?
Okay, I found this on the web. It's a word. Check it out.
It is. It is a word. Congratulations, Wyatt. You have discovered a word that is actually in the dictionary, and it means that you need a drink. Big surprise. Thirstily. Good job. All right, moving on to the next sentence that you might need an ly word for. I see other hands there, but I got to keep going. Keep thinking though. What about let's think about the fly for a second, and you know how it was landing on his head. So the fly somethingly landed on his skin. What ly word could you put there? The fly somethingly landed on his skin. Okay, Serena?
Um,
The fly somethingly
slowly
landed on his
landed
skin.
on his skin.
Say it one more time.
Slowly.
Slowly. Okay, good. I'm going to skip a little space here because we're going on to a new sentence. Slowly. All right. Alexis?
Fastly.
Fastly. How about Cassie? I haven't heard from you in a minute. How did the fly land on his head? The fly somethingly landed on his head. What would be a good ly word to use, Cassie? Slowly, fastly, what else?
Peacefully.
Peacefully?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is a good ly word, but I don't know in this story if it would be peacefully because remember, the man is like getting mad. He's like
Madly.
annoyed, right? Say another one.
Madly.
Madly? Okay. Madly. Christian, what do you think?
Annoyingly.
Ooh, I like that one too. Annoyingly. That's for sure, right? If you've ever had a fly buzzing around your head, it is very, very annoying. Good word. How
Yeah,
about,
I have it buzzing around my face all the time and landing on my skin from time to time.
yeah,
So, something on my right.
repeatedly? You're right, and that's what they do. Flies are good at that. That's probably the only thing they're good at is bothering us, right? I added two more right here, repeatedly and constantly. Those are also good words you could use to describe, oh boy, my dogs are barking in the background. Hopefully they'll stop in a minute because my husband is not here. So we'll just try to ignore them. Okay, and the next sentence we might need an ly word would be the man somethingly slapped the fly. Think about when he slapped the fly. The man, okay, hold on. Be thinking of that. I'm coming right back. Oh my goodness. Squirrels, just in case you were wondering. Okay.
The
The
man slappily.
Slappily? Okay. What are we saying? Okay, the man slappily slapped the fly? Keep thinking. Alexis, what do you think? The man something.
Angrily.
Angrily, yes. Angrily. Write down all these words. You're going to need them for your homework this week. Okay. Anything else? How else? How about violently? You know what that means? Like he was just like flailing his hands around. He's like, get away from me. You're driving me crazy. I'm going to go mad. Right? He was violently slapping his head. Wyatt, do you have another one?
I love going violently.
Smackly.
Smackily? He smackily smacked?
Yeah.
You're on the right track, but it might be too repetitive if we say smackily slapped. Violently, what about vigorously? Do you know that word? Vigorously? It just means like if you've ever seen your mom or your grandma make scrambled eggs in the morning and she's like mixing the eggs really fast and that she's vigorously mixing the eggs, right? She's just like making them nice and blended so you can fry them up. Sorry if you haven't had breakfast yet. It's probably making you super hungry. But vigorously would work for that sentence because he would.
Breakfast?
Oh, good. The man vigorously slapped the fly. Good. All right. And then sorry, hold on just a second. When you think about the story at the very end, something happened because he stopped. slapping the fly, right? Because he realized his mistake and he was just smacking himself in the head. So he somethingly stopped, or it ends. So somethingly stopped. What do you think, Alexis?
Fastly.
Fastly? He fastly stopped. What about finally? That's a good word to use there. He finally stopped slapping his head, right? He finally stopped at the very end. Okay, good. So we've got a nice list right here of ly adverbs, and we can add these to your sentences now in your story to dress it up a little bit more, okay? I'm gonna have really quick on the side here, I just want you to draw a line down like this. So here's our list. In fact, you can even put a box around it. I am like a big note taker. I love to take notes if I'm listening to the pastor at church, if I'm listening to something online that I'm trying to learn. I'm always taking notes, and just so you know, I like to draw boxes around things or put star by things, or circle and draw an arrow, because that's how I do notes. So go ahead and draw a box around that. That's your ly adverbs. I would like to ask Delilah, could you read just your very, very, very first sentence of your Bald Man and the Fly, the one that you wrote? What is your very first sentence?
Okay.
Grandma's looking for the page. My grandma's finding it.
Delilah, did you draw it?
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, it's right here. No,
you got it?
You had it, Delilah.
Okay, here.
You just had it. Okay.
So
read your word.
So the last.
No, the
last-
first sentence.
One day it was hot.
Okay. Is that your first sentence?
Was hot. You forgot the hot part, right? Yeah. Okay.
Is that the whole sentence?
Yeah.
One day it was hot?
One day it was hot. Yeah, it's a period right there.
Okay, what's your next sentence?
A traveler took off his hat.
A traveler took off his hat. I'm going to change that into one sentence. You can leave yours the way it is, but I'm going to make it, and go ahead and write this down, everybody, on the side here, and you're going to skip a line, okay? And the traveler, is that what you said? Took off his hat. Is that right, Delilah? One day it was hot and the traveler took off his hat.
Yes.
Okay, good. So here's Delilah's sentence. Now I want you to just focus on the top section of our ly words here. What is one of these ly words that we could add to how he took off his hat? Remember, it's going to add to a verb, and the verb in this sentence is took. Go ahead and underline that. He took off, right? And we can put an ly word right here. Remember the little caret symbol when we add a word to a sentence? Go ahead and write that in. And yours might be a little bit different. You might have it more on one line, which is fine. What's one of these words? He lazily took off his hat, or he tiredly took off his hat. He suddenly took off his hat. Do you see how we can actually use these words to put in her sentence for her? So Cassie, what word do you think would fit here from the top here? Which one of these Lee words would fit before took?
Quickly.
Okay, good. So go ahead and let's write quickly. And remember, when you did your paper for homework, you double spaced. So you have space to add these words. And we're just practicing with a sentence here. These are just examples, okay? One day it was hot, and the traveler quickly took off his hat. Do you notice how adding that word quickly, now you have a different image in your head? He probably took off his hat fast, right? Quickly. Because why would he do that? Well, there's flies buzzing around, and he's already annoyed, I'm sure, at the very beginning. Or it could be that he's hot, right? Because we talked about how hot he is, and he's ready to take off his hat. So he wants to take it off quickly. Okay, let's do one more. Serena, can you read your very first sentence to me? The very, very first sentence of your story. And I'm going to skip a few lines here and I'm going to write hers.
Okay. My very first sentence.
Yes, please.
Okay. In the summer, a traveler went to go rest on a rock.
In the summer, a traveler, make sure you skip your lines.
You listen to her, skip your
Yes.
To go, write this down. Make sure you're skipping lines. Rest on a rock. Did I get that right, Serena?
Yes.
Good. In the summer, a traveler went to go rest on a rock. And go ahead and write that down, you guys, on your notes. This is another example sentence here. And the verb in this sentence is went, right? He went to go rest on a rock. So now this is where we're going to plug in an ly adverb. And we're still using this top group of sentences here. Group of ly words. So what could we put here? In the summer, a traveler went to go rest on a rock. What did he do? Somethingly went. What's one of these words from our list that we came up here? Somethingly went to go rest on a rock. Do you have any ideas from that list? He somethingly went to go rest on a rock. Okay, Alexis, what do you think?
Fastly.
He fastly. We could do fastly. We kind of used quickly up here. How about he happily? Because he probably was ready to sit down for a minute. In the summer, a traveler happily went to go rest on a rock. Okay, and then this group of ly words here is going to be for one of your other sentences. So here's what you guys are going to do, because we're suddenly out of time again. I wish we had more time because I really enjoyed talking to you guys. You're going to keep working on the bald man and the fly. I know you named it something different. You're going to keep working on that for your homework, okay? And I'm going to put this in Google Classroom. But you are going to add 3 ly words to your story, okay? Find 3 spots to add an ly word. Now, you can use our list here, but if you think of something else that's not on this list as an ly word, you can do that. You don't have to pick from this list. This is just to help you in case you're out of ideas. Okay, and you're going to add 3 ly words to your list. Okay, and then you're going to find somebody in your house that's older than you to read your story and to be an editor of your story. So it needs to be somebody older than you that knows a little bit about writing. Could be your mom or dad or grandma, but it could be an older brother or sister or cousin or somebody else. And have them read your story. I know it's kind of a sloppy copy right now because I saw in a homework a lot of you changed words and added things and moved things around. That's what I wanted. So you're going to add 3 of these to your story, and then you're going to have somebody read it and help you with any corrections that need to be made. Then you're going to do a nice copy for me. You're going to copy it in either your nice handwriting, or you can type it. If you know how to type and you like typing and you're pretty good at that, you can type this instead of handwrite it. It's up to you and your mom or grandma or whoever is doing your homeschooling, okay? And then you're going to turn that in as part of your homework. So you're going to add 3 ly words to your story next to the verb. And then you're going to have somebody edit, which means they're going to read it and help you fix anything like spelling, or maybe you forgot a punctuation, or maybe you forgot a capital, and they're going to make notes on there for you and they're going to hand it back to you. It doesn't have to be perfect, but your editor should be the one that just looks at it and makes little marks on it to help you fix a couple things, and then you rewrite it in your nice handwriting. And don't forget to double space. And if you want, you can type it. All right, I see a couple hands going. Christian, did you have a question?
So, can I read my story or something?
I wish we had time, but we're actually running over. I'm so sorry, Christian, but I promise I will read it when I look at it on Google Classroom, okay? And I'll give you some feedback on it. Alex, did you have a question?
Yeah, you know how there's Guaro and the dog in the shadow or something like that, and the finished. Can you put the bald man and the fly on there?
You're gonna keep working on the bald man and the fly, so don't move it over to finished compositions yet. Okay? We're working on that still. It's still part of your homework. So you're gonna keep that at the front of your binder or in the front pocket, wherever you can find it easily. And you're gonna add 3 ly words, and then you're gonna have an editor look at it, someone in your family, and then you're gonna rewrite it, either in your handwriting or typing it, and then you have those grammar pages to do like we usually do. That's your homework for this coming up week. And I'll put it on Google Classroom so you can see it. Anybody else have any other questions before we go? You're adding your ly words. It should be pretty easy because you're just basically dressing it up a little bit, right? And adding your ly words. Okay? All right, you guys. That's it for today. You did awesome. I'm so happy to hear you guys sharing ideas and talking, and I'm super proud of you guys. You're already becoming better writers. So keep up the good work, and I'll see you guys next week, okay?
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day. Bye. See you next time.
Bye.
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 See you next time.
Bye, Serena.
Bye.
Bye, Serena. Bye, Delilah.
Bye, 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 bye.